welcome to your abdominal canister practice. For today's practice, the only thing you'll need really is access to a wall or a couch. I'm going to be using a ball to show you different positions and just yourself. So let's come on down to your back. We're taking a 90-90 canister breath. So this is using the abdominal canister that you learned in the tutorials. We're going to put it into practice in different positions. So bring your feet up to the wall. You're going to roll down to your side and bring your feet up to a 90-degree angle at the wall. So my feet are on the ball, but your feet could be at the wall. You want your knees over your hips and your hips nice and neutral. So you're in a 90-degree angle, right? Your feet are here. You're going to press your feet into the wall just lightly. And then if it's helpful, you can put a block or a pillow between your knees. Now we're going to find neutral in our pelvis. You can rock forward and back on your spine. Find the sacrum at the bottom of your pelvis, right where it feels nice and steady. There's a little space underneath your low back and your glutes are nice and soft. We're going to practice our canister breaths from here. Now, a word of note, if you start to feel low back pain in this position, and if you have an anterior pelvic tilt, an APT, meaning your hips kind of rock forward, you tend towards a sway back, you're going to want to drop your tailbone forward and press your low back into the floor a little bit and drive your heels into the wall, almost like you're dragging your heels down the wall. Also, if you notice any upper back pain or low back pain, you can pad your head a little bit. So take a pillow, a low pillow or a towel and put it underneath your head, which will just help take some strain off of your lower back. If you tend towards a posterior pelvic tilt, which means that you tend to tuck your tailbone under, you're going to want to try to bring that tailbone down so you're creating more arch in your low back. Okay. All right, so bring the feet up to your wall, nice and neutral and 90 degrees. Take one hand on your lower belly, one hand on your upper belly, and we'll start our breaths here. So starting from a neutral position, we're going to inhale, release the pelvic floor, release the belly, find that big belly and rib breathing. Exhale, squeeze and lift your pelvic floor as you're exhaling. Good. Inhale and release it out. And exhale, squeezing and lifting. Good. With your arms, you can either take your arms down by your hips or arms into a cactus. Notice different positions, how different positions feel. Now, what I would love for you to do is to set a timer for 1 minute to 2 minutes. Work on this breath, right? So think about how your feet are pressing into the wall. Think about where your hips are in space. Take full breaths into your core and then exhale, lifting and squeezing. Good. So we're aiming for about 15 to 20 breaths here. Good. I'm going to talk you through it. Feel free to keep going as I'm speaking here. You can also pause the video and go ahead and do your practice. The things we're looking for here is quietness in the glutes. We don't want the glutes to engage while we're here, right? We also don't want a lot of rib movement here as we're breathing, right? We're trying to keep the ribs soft, back body breathing that we worked on in the mobility, and just the pelvic floor and the core is doing the work of lifting, right? So your hips aren't moving, your ribs aren't moving. We're just breathing here. So go ahead and continue on those breaths. Big inhales, breathing into your back. And exhale, lifting all the way up. Good. Now we're going to try 2 different breaths here. I want you to inhale fully, release everything out. And then exhale as if you're fogging up a mirror from your pelvic floor all the way to the bottom of your exhale. See if that helps you get a deeper core lift. Good. Try 4 more breaths like that on your own. Inhale, exhale, deep breath, like you're fogging up a mirror. Good. Feel free to use your hands to feel what's going on in your core. Good. Inhale fully and exhale. Deep exhale. Hips and ribs are staying nice and stable. Good. If you'd like to try a different arm variation, you may. Good. And exhale. Great. 1 more breath here with that fogging up ha breath. Inhale, exhale, all the way to the bottom of your exhale. Great. Good. If your arms are here, drop them down. Rock your hips from side to side. Reset. Good. Find neutral in your pelvis, hands on your belly. We're going to take a shh breath as if you were shushing a baby across the room. Good. So feet are still on the wall, pulling down on the heels if you're feeling any tenderness in your low back, lifting your head a little bit with a towel if you're feeling it in the low back. Otherwise, our spine is neutral. Good. Full deep breath in. Breathe into your mid back and then take the exhale. Shh. Nice and loud all the way to the bottom of that exhale. So I want you to feel that tension that you're creating at the bottom of that shh breath. Good. Take 4 more breaths on your own. Inhaling. Exhale all the breath out. Shh. Good. Keep going on your breath. Now, these breaths are different because they're changing the pressure in how you're breathing out. So the ha breath is creating more lower belly, pelvic floor engagement. The sh breath is causing more restriction in your mouth, which is causing you to breathe a little deeper and kind of mimics a cough or a laugh. So if you're finding this really challenging, I want you to focus on going to the bottom of your exhale and notice what happens in your core when you get to the bottom of that exhale. Okay, good. Now, again, we're doing this for a minute to 2 minutes. 15 to 20 is great. If you start to get hyperventilating or feel lightheaded, take a break and come back to it, right? Good. All right. Now, come on over to your side. You can take your feet off of the wall. We're going to come onto a side lying position. So if you're at the wall, you can bring your feet to the wall, come to a 90-degree angle. We're going to take the same breath here. So I want you to take your hands on your side body here, like you're putting your hands on your hips, but a little bit higher, right? Good. Your thumb is on the back of your ribs. So take an inhale here. Breathe into your thumb and then exhale from the pelvic floor. Find your ha breath. Good. Imagine that entire core pulling back towards your spine. Good. Inhale here. Breathe into your back. Let the belly release, pelvic floor release. Exhale and lift. Good. Feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to spend more time doing this breath. Otherwise, we'll take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Great. And then we'll move on to the shh breath. So same thing here. Keep your hand on your abdomen. Inhale. Breathe into your back. Exhale. Shh. Feel what's happening in your core. All right. You can feel with the fingertips and with your ribs, with your thumb, to notice that the ribs are compressing and the deep core is pulling back. Good. This is really important for a deep diastasis. The side lying is really good for this. Good. So we'll take a few more breaths here. Dig into the information that you're getting here. Good. Inhale, exhale. Shh. So go for the intensity of that lift at the bottom of that exhale. Good. Yes. Inhale. And don't be afraid to go all the way to the bottom of your exhale, almost to the point that you cough. Shh. A lot further out than you think, right? Good. Inhale. Last one, exhale. Shh. Zip up from the pelvic floor, drawing the belly back towards the spine. Great. Good. Relax, let it go. If you'd like to spend more time with this breath, pause the video. You can continue. Otherwise, we're going to go over to the other side. So press yourself up, flip over to the other side, bring your knees into a 90-degree angle. Hand on your side waist. And again, thumb on your rib, fingertips on your core. Good. And we're going for the depth of the breath here. So inhale fully. Breathe into your back. Let your pelvic floor release. Let your belly expand. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Draw the deep core back. Good. Think of drawing the entire core back towards your spine. So it's not just your navel. It's all the way up, zipping from the pelvic floor. Can think of like putting on tight pants, or if you were going to catch a ball in your belly. It's the same motion. Good. All right. Take 3 ha breaths here. So inhale. Expand, expand, expand. Exhale. All the way from the pelvic floor. So you feel that deep core lifting. Good. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Belly is pulling back towards your spine, away from the floor. Good. One more inhale here. Ha breath. Almost to the point that you cough, right? It might be deeper than you think. Good. Inhale, release it. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to continue here. Otherwise, we'll move on to the breath. We're going to take 4 breaths here. Inhale fully into your lungs. Exhale. All the way to the bottom of the breath. So lift as much as you can all the way to the bottom of your exhale. Good. Inhale into your back. Exhale. Good. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Put your hand on your belly. See what's happening in there. Good. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can get your belly to draw back. All the way to the bottom of the exhale. If you get to the bottom of the exhale and your belly is pushing out, see if you can lift more through your pelvic floor. Maintain that integrity and the core contraction all the way through the exhale. Good. Inhale, release it, let it go. Excellent. All right. Again, feel free to pause the video and continue doing those breaths if you'd like a little more practice there. Otherwise, we're going to come into all fours. Grab a block. You can put it between your knees. And we'll do the same breath here. So I want you to take 3 breaths in each position here. So block between your knees, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Excellent. Full breaths here. Inhale. Breathe into your back. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor without letting your back round. So we're not looking for rounding and arching. This is not a cat and cow, right? We're trying to keep the hips stable, keep the core stable as you're pulling back. This is a setup for plank. Good. Inhale fully. Exhale, ha breath. Squeeze your inner thighs. Lift your deep core back as if you're going to catch a ball in your belly. Good. Inhale fully. Exhale, ha breath. Good. Nice. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the block. Excellent. Good. Take a break if you need to, or you can stop the video and keep going, practicing this breath. And then we will add on the breath, right? So inhale fully. Exhale. Lifting that deep core back, pressing those hands into the floor. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Engage. Good. Try to release your glutes as you're squeezing that deep core back. Right? So it's just the muscles of your pelvic floor and your deep core that are protecting and engaging to keep your spine and your ribs and your hips still. Good. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. All the way to your deepest exhale. All the breath out, like you were shushing a baby across the room. Good. Feel that depth you're creating in the deep core. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Good. Have a seat on your hips, roll your wrists out. Great. Feel free to pause the video, go through those breaths a few more times. You can also do those same breaths in this position with your hand on your belly, hand on your lower back. Taking a deep breath in, exhale. Drawing your deep core up, trying to keep your back muscles nice and soft. So I want you to explore these positions, find a position where you feel the biggest impact on your deep core, and then practice those at least 2 to 3 times a day, 10 to 15 reps, working up to 20 reps. You can practice this in your chair. I want you to find different times during your day that you can integrate this into your everyday life. All right, I'll see you next time.